Welcome back to the Life of Lloyd. We're up to episode 9. If you remember at the end of episode 8, the Twentons had just sold Lloyd to a new family called the Boogles. And Lloyd's about to wake up with his first morning with the Boogles. Episode 9. Who are the Cranky Cats? Things are starting to get juicy now. Lloyd is about to meet the Cranky Cats. Lloyd woke up to the sun streaming into the kitchen. He'd slept like a log and barely moved all night. There was a pool of dribble on the edge of his bed and he licked his chops and thought, wow, I really did crash. Dawn and Jack came running out of their rooms and bolted up the hallway. They were yelling, Lloyd! Lloyd! As they ran towards him. Lloyd jumped out of bed and ran towards them. He was so excited that he leapt up and Jack caught him in mid-air. Morning, Shoulder Commander, he said. They all settled onto the couch to watch TV and the kids ate cereal. Soon enough they were off to school. Mary explained the day's schedule to Lloyd. Okay, little Lloydie, on school days we walk the kids to school in the morning and pick them up again in the afternoon. I work from home so you will be keeping me company. After school today we are going to the pet shop to get you some new things. How does that sound? Lloyd wagged. That sounded amazing. 2 walks, hanging out with Mary and then off to the pet shop. Woof-tastic! The trip to school was slow because so many kids wanted to meet Lloyd. All this attention even though I look like a skinny bag of bones, he laughed to himself. In the quiet streets the kids let him have a sniff around. Kids, you keep Lloyd near, said Mary. We're getting close to the Cranky Cats and I don't want him attacked. Cranky Cats? Attacked? They were walking up the last street towards school when Lloyd saw 2 cats. One was silver and one was orange. They were sitting on top of a high brick fence, giving them a good view over the street. Everybody walked as quickly as they could past the cats. Some people even crossed the road to avoid them. It's just 2 little kitty cats, thought Lloyd. I will say hello, make friends, and all will be well. Lloyd called out in a welcoming voice. Hello, cats, I'm Lloyd, and it's nice to meet you. I will scratch your eye out, spat the silver cat. And I'll scratch your other eye out, hissed the orange cat. What? Said Lloyd, pretty confused. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue, said the silver cat, and they dissolved into fits of laughter. Now, who is this new dog in town? Wondered the silver cat. We've never seen this one, have we? Answered the orange cat. We're going to find out about you, said the silver cat. Yeah, 'cause we run the neighbourhood, said the orange cat. There was an old lady who was watering the garden in the next front yard. Mary, Dawn and Jack chorused, Hello, Agnes, as they passed. Agnes smiled and waved. As soon as they were past the cats, Dawn said, Those Cranky Cats are just terrible. The silver one is called Kingy and the orange one is called Queenie. You'll only see him in the morning because we take a different way home in the afternoon. Steer clear of them and you'll be just fine, Lloyd. Lloyd wasn't worried. After his experience with the Twentons, he didn't care about the Cranky Cats. Mary worked from home. She had a home office set up in the lounge room. She had a vintage cedar desk placed under a large decorative window. Lloyd decided it looked very picturesque and very Mary. A pink and brown checked woolen blanket was covering the lounge chair closest to the desk. It was the kind of blanket you find in your nana's wardrobe. Mary looked at Lloyd and patted the blanket. Come on up. Lloyd did not need a second invitation. He took a running leap up onto the chair and lay down. Mary fussed around, arranging his ears and tucking his tail in. Lloyd took a deep breath and sighed loudly. Mary sat down and started work. The tappity-tap-tap of her keyboard was mesmerising, and Lloyd felt warm and safe. He was soon asleep and purring like a little black panther. Time drifted past, and before Lloyd knew it, they were getting ready to go and collect the kids. They took the car to school so they could go to the pet shop straight afterwards. They parked the car just below the Cranky Cat's house, meaning that they would have to walk past them twice today. No big deal, thought Lloyd. Those cats don't concern me. The Cranky Cats were in their usual position on top of the brick fence. They saw him coming up the road. We've found out about you, new dog, yelled Kingy. Yes, yes, found out the gossip, new dog, screamed Queenie. From the countryside, laughed Kingy. Yeah, like cows and chickens, whooped Queenie. So we gave it some thought, new dog, Kingy explained. Yeah, and we came up with a plan, shouted Queenie. It's a naughty plan, yelled Kingy. Yeah, a notoriously naughty plan, spat Queenie. Seeing as you're a farm animal, we're going to make you feel at home, smirked Kingy. By pooping in your yard, laughed Queenie. We're going to leave horse-sized number 2s on your lawn that your owner will blame on you, wheezed Kingy. Have you seen the huge poos I can do? Cried Queenie. That's 'cause you've got a massive backside, laughed Kingy. Are you saying my bottom looks big in this fur? Yelled Queenie. Yes, like a wombat, sniggered Kingy. I'll scratch your eye out, screamed Queenie. I'll scratch your other eye out, screamed Kingy. The cranky cats had a face-off as the Boogles wandered over to Agnes. Agnes was in the front yard watering the garden. She was watching how the cranky cats treated Lloyd. Mary went over for a chat and Agnes gave Lloyd a chin rub. Those nasty cats. I see how rude they are to such a lovely puppy, she whispered in his ear. Yes, laughed Lloyd. Those cats really needed to be taken to the vet to have their problems dealt with. Agnes cooed. Don't worry, Lloyd. I'm on your side and I'll sort them out for you. But first you need a little rub. Queenie called out, I see you've got Agnes under your spell. Kingy yelled, Don't worry, she won't protect you. Queenie joked, You know we call her Old Bagness. Kingy whooped, Yeah, 'cause she's an old bag and her name is Agnes. Get it? Yes, I got it, said Lloyd in a sarcastic voice. Oh no, I don't think you did, exclaimed Queenie. Only cats get these jokes. It's our superior intellect, you know, said Kingy. Queenie just nodded in agreement. Agnes whispered to Lloyd, Watch this, I'm going to spray those nasty cats. And she turned the garden hose on the cats. The cranky cats screamed with laughter. The spray from the hose barely made the top of the fence. Agnes needed a new hose, or better water pressure, or something. Kingy jeered, How lovely! My own private water fountain! And he slicked back his hair with a few drops of water that got to him. Looking good, Kingy, laughed Queenie. Living the life, purred Kingy. The cranky cats hissed and mocked Agnes. The water jet just didn't reach. She hung her head in frustration. These cats had teased her for far too long. Lloyd had no time to dwell on the cranky cats because he was soon at the school gate. Dawn and Jack came running down towards him at the school gate. Who wants to go and buy Lloyd some new things? Asked Mary. I do, yelled Jack. I'm so excited, cried Dawn. Woof, barked Lloyd. He was pumped. Okay, laughed Mary. Let's go and pimp our poodle. The pet store was a massive warehouse. It reminded Lloyd of a big farm shed. As they walked in, he could see endless walls of thousands of products. The smells of all the food made his taste buds explode in his mouth. Mary gave them all the plan. Righto, little ones, we have lots to get. We need kibble, harness, lead, collar and tag. Now, I see the kibble. Let's go. Lloyd breathed a sigh of relief at the kibble wall. He couldn't see the evil compost kibble anywhere. Mary picked up bag after bag and finally settled on Uncle Rooster's chicken puppy kibble. What about this one? Mary asked. Lloyd saw the pictures on the front. Chicken. Lloyd took a sniff of the packet. Chicken. This was the one. He started madly pouring at the packet. Mary and the kids burst out laughing. You have excellent taste, Lloyd, said Mary. Uncle Rooster's it is. Next, they headed over to get a lead, harness and collar. Mary chose them out and tried them on Lloyd. Everything felt snug and secure. Now, Lloyd, let's print your dog tag, said Jack, as the kids carried him over to a large machine. Okay, Lloyd, spell your name, said Dawn, holding his paw and helping him press L-L-O-Y-D. Now put in Mum's mobile number, said Dawn, as she guided his paw to press on the numbers. Then let's press go, cried Dawn, as Lloyd's paw hit the go button. The finished disc dropped out of the machine. Lloyd was amazed. Back in the car, the family had a little ceremony. Mary placed Lloyd's new collar around his neck and pretended she was the Queen giving out a knighthood. In a posh tone, she said, I, Mary, Queen of Lily Hills, declare you to be Lloyd Boogle." "Welcome to the family, Lloyd Boogle," said Jack, squeezing the life out of him. "Will I have to call you Mr. Poodle Boogle now?" said Dawn, giving him a big hug. Lloyd Boogle, he did like the sound of it, but the best part was having a family to love and cherish. When they got home, the kids rolled the ball up and down the hallway. The hallway was everything Lloyd had hoped. It was like an aircraft runway. Just as they were getting tired, Mary called everyone to the table. The kids ran to their seats and tucked into their dinner. "Your dinner is waiting, little poodle. Have a drink of water after all that running around," said Mary. Lloyd took his time and eyed off the kibble while having a little sip of water. It looked good and it smelt good. It was time to give it a whirl. Lloyd rolled it around his taste buds. It was delicious. Bombs away! Lloyd started hoovering down his kibble. When he was finished, he trotted over to Mary, stood on his hind legs and put his head in her lap. Mary sensed Lloyd was saying thank you. She rubbed his ears and said, "You're welcome, little one." The little poodle curled in his basket at bedtime and laughed at his good luck. He was now Lloyd Boogle and everything was going his way. What nobody saw late in the night was the cranky cats sneaking into the Boogle's backyard.